We are joined by Okatakyie Afrifa Mensah. And I'm
Mary.
Yes.
I don't know before though.
May I say?
We are joined by anyway.
You can't discuss it. You make up bro for Nutrina.
Maybe bro for the connection. Right, I mean, but we will try our best to see what.
Yes, please. No, but you're a fantastic young man. You're very intelligent.
If you say so.
No, I have listened to.
I'm humbled.
No, you're very intelligent. Sometimes I wonder how you do it. Get to understand politics in other countries, how diplomacy works, and all of these things. I've watched your programs and I'm super impressed.
I think I take my time to study things, and because this is what I want to do, I devote enough time for it.
Yeah,
I wanted to understand what happens at the international plane, because it looks like Ghana people, when they are growing up or when they are looking for the people's power, they seem to have all these fantastic ideas, and yet when power is given to them, everything goes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I wanted to understand if there is something at the top which is not making them being able to take the kind of right decisions that.
Right.
That is what sort of led me to study international relations and diplomacy as a master's course. So I took a 1-year course to understand the international geopolitics and dynamics of the world, and how unipolar power system or multipolar, bipolar power system, how the big giants of the world tries to control. So when it comes to that aspect, I have knowledge in, because I take my time and I study.
You study.
When it comes to almost every other aspect in terms of law.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one, I woke up one day and I thought that, why are people doing certain things? Why is the law this? Because we are a nation of laws.
Absolutely.
If I say I want to help the people, I must be able to understand what is the position of the law,
right,
vis-a-vis what the people are doing, so I can marry both and help them. And all. So I went to study law, which I'm doing. It's not for the fancy title of being called a lawyer.
A lawyer.
It's just about you wanting to. So if you say I'm intelligent, I don't know if I am intelligent, but I take my time to study things, and I get it done.
Makes absolute sense. Makes absolute sense. But let's go back to growing up. What was growing up like for you, Okatakyie? And before we get into that, so Ghanaians at some point knew you as Leo Mensah.
Right.
Why the change of name?
When I became sensible, then I changed it. Explain, please. Okay, so I don't know why we still give slavish name to our people in the name of Christian names. So my father gave me a certain name which I cannot relate with. Leo. What is Leo? So these were names that were forced down our truth by the colonial masters. And there's something called Stockholm Syndrome. When you abuse people for so long, they fall in love with the oppressor, or which even long before, when the oppressor is gone, we transfer the nonsense onto our kids. So I asked myself, will I ever meet any white man who is called Afrifa, or Achemai, or Mauli? Or the answer is no. No. So if I will not meet a white man who is called Afrifa, Mauli, Achemai, why then must I bear their name? Right. So I woke up and I said, let me go and change it. No. So long before even I changed it, I was given the name that I preferred to my kids, Afrifa Mensah. So the name is Afrifa Mensah as a surname. As a surname, okay. And that's what it is. Awesome. Because when you go to America, I think the excuse that we black people, because we feel inferior, we feel very inferior to ourselves, we say, oh, Bruni to be molding. It's yes, why must they mention your name? Meanwhile, people coming from China, they go to America, and the Americans will learn how to pronounce it. Yeah. People coming from Russia, they come with Vladimir Cheskovich, and Americans will learn how to pronounce it. Only in Africa that we say the white man will not be able to mention Okechukwu, they cannot mention Mauli, Mauga. So we must force to belong, and we give these names. So for me, when I have a baby with you and you give the person a white man's name, you have to go and look for the father of the child. It's not me. That's not going to be you. No, it's not. Certainly not. Because if it's my son or my daughter, why does he have a funny name? And I think it's time that we must begin to look into that. We must not begin to pass on slavish mentality onto the next generation. So Leo Mensah, yes, the ladies were called, hi Leo, hi Leo.
Yeah, go back to childhood. Growing up, what was it like? Paint a picture of your childhood to us.
Unless you ask specifics, but by and large, whatever growing up looked like is exactly what you guys are seeing today. I was that stubborn child, a very troublesome person. Every day my name was being mentioned. I confront people, I fight. I just a school uniform near to be too. So, and my mother was a very strict person. My father was calm but steady. And and out of the 10 kids, I was the one that was beaten the most. Because I'm stubborn. Meanwhile, when you beat me right now, you're almost the same thing. I mean, nothing will change. Baby, my mother would tell me that, whoa, say, come on, dear, go featuring that. Sometimes it was it. And the first, no, I didn't pageant and one can we met from one. So I was that troublesome at childhood.
So you agree that you're a very troublesome person, even now as Ghanaians?
Well, I think it was just something in it. Okay, looking for something very inquisitive, very curious. And I've always stood up for the rights of others. So maybe to send to Kwana Kura, you be near Kuntokwana, maybe the ACC and my boy near Kuntokwana. And it has always been like.
It has always been. And that's
like,
translated into your.
Into me becoming what I've become.
What you've become. Now you got into media, was on radio. I told you the very first time I met you, I used to listen to you a lot, and I thought you were like
some old man.
Okay, guys, let me tell you.
But I'm old. Maybe.
How old are you?
I will say it. I will say it.
Because so can we say
I won't say it. I mean, I like the mystery around me that people begin to. Even when it comes to my educational background, so many people have doubt as to whether I attended what I say I attended. And I leave it at that.
Why?
Because any human being that doesn't have mystery around you, then you are nothing. But I'm so confident of the things I've done in my world, where I've been, and it's like a design of nature. Even going to, for instance, Mfantsipim, it wasn't by choice. Because at that time, I did not even have an idea what Mfantsipim stood for. The prestige nature of going to Mfantsipim, I did not. You know, a guy growing up in Kumasi, I attended St. George's International, but that was before St. George's International. I attended Bomfa United Primary. Then I was moved to Swami. I went to stay in Swami, St. George's International. And there's a very prestigious school in and around Kropo, Swami. Then we moved to come live in Bwedi, Kumasi Bwedi. My auntie was an Apia, one of the lecturers in KNUST. So we ended up in KNUST GSS. That is where I completed. And when I completed, you know, Kumasi boy will want to go to Prempel or was. So when I was about to see a certain lecturer, teacher then, said, no, you, I see a toe, Kumasi dear, ube stubborn. So the idea of me having to go to Mfantsipim was a way of getting rid of me.
You.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So they sent me. Yeah, they made because me my yaka. Also on Kasabe all throughout the period. So you took my big sister, Kuyenyako. On the day of your BA school, I come Mfantsipim school. And you nam to Kraba market near torture box. And I tell you what, since the first term, I'm in the chop box of Koy. I'm for be uncle Buda. To the same school. Oh, but I survived. I say, you're too stubborn. I'm in graphic.
Is it 2 hours to action or watch school?
Okay, well, Mama said, but I still managed to go through it. I am a survivor. Whenever I am put, you throw dirt on me and flowers will grow on me. I find myself anywhere in the world and I survive it. So this idea of people mentioning my name left, right, center, maybe it's not that it's come to the international, the national scene that people are hearing.
But you've always had to.
I've always had to be that guy that Bumfa. I went to Swami, the same. Every day I wake up, my name.
You're talking about this, and it's funny. We're all laughing about it.
Right.
But then, was there any point in your life that you felt like, nah, man, this is not the life. I would want to do better with myself?
I'm sure during those moments where you don't really understand and you've not accepted yourself, you wish you were somebody else that people will accept and like. But growing up and looking back, I think I don't regret anything. I was just being me, being a child, growing up, and whatever a child that has something in him, not the usual. I used not to accept that. I thought I was probably a usual guy and all that. Then my wife would look at me and say, wouldn't be normal. So now looking back, I don't regret. But then I wanted to belong. I wanted to feel accepted. So sometimes you sit there and you go like,
let's stay on that a little bit. When you were going through that phase, what did you do? Did you make steps to change that? It did not work, so you decided to go back to Okatakyie?
Yes, I took steps. Okay, so there's something that I want to warn parents. I think you have to do well not to compare your kids. Because no two kids are the same. No two kids. So I have a brother who is very quiet and silent, and so I wanted to be like Minuano, just so I can be loved. And it ends up saying Minuano should do maybe no when I wanted to be like, and you know this wheat and it makes you calm. So yes, this went me. Oh, you did this. But me try the seed of wisdom. Chama go try the seed of wisdom. I mean, near hallucination and all that. You know, this is not you. So yes, I took steps, but with time I came to accept myself that I'm just who I am.
Who you are. That's beautiful. Let's go back to your career in media. At what point did you decide to stop acting? Because you did that.
Yes, I did
a
few movies.
Yes, and then commercials here and there.
Right.
At what point did you decide that I want to be that voice, that powerful voice on radio talking about important things that change lives of Ghanaians? At what point did you decide that?
I have been a ship on the sea and allowing the waves of the sea to direct me to the shore. It's not as though I woke up and I say tomorrow I'm going to become this or that or this. I've always been a public spirited person. So almost everything I do has to be something concerning human beings. Even when I was young as 12 or 11, we used to do this Jesus play where I was the Jesus. And I had disciples, So growing up, I remember I told my big sister, Nanekuya, there is a man called Lawyer Ohinijan. Nanekuya is my big sister, so married to Lawyer Ohinijan. But then, when I was coming back from Pantsville, left, right, center, I told Nanekuya to tell Lawyer Ohinijan that I wanted to do radio, media. That one did not. I'm picking. Movies, Miracle Films. And so we call her, I'm picking. I mean, they probably, Miracle Films will meet me and say, hey, I'm going, never so better office here. Can be you super. I mean, but nobody sees the greatness of a person. So
absolutely.
So fast forward, we did a little bit of movies, Waka Pass here and there, Silver Line Production. Yet I didn't feel fulfilled. I always felt there was something much more greater. Then I ended up on TV. I mean, doing commercials, like you said. I did quite a few other things. So there was this program called Tuatuahine that I started on GH1 with Mr. Wincott. But I was communicating something very important to the people through comedy, making it a bit jovial. But I realized that the people were enjoying the comical aspect of it without having to pay attention to the things that I want to communicate to them.
And you were being intentional about what you wanted.
I was being intentional about using comedy to propagate a certain message. Yet they were enjoying the comedy. I mean, you know this country and how almost everything, they turn it into comedy. So one day I sat there and said, no, I think if I want to be taken serious and the people will hear what I want to say, I need to rebrand and move away from. So I moved away from into a Tuahine setup. Then fast forward, I end up on radio, where you used to love a lot.
I loved it.
And I ended up on Happy FM. I was on Happy FM for 4 years, from 2016 to 2020. I thought at some point I had done what Napoleon couldn't do, because when I was going to RPFM, it was a far sports station, a far left sports station. Then I moved it not to a center, but at least to a far right political station. Yeah. When they got to a certain point, there was nothing for me to do, and quite a few other things that were stifling my creativity and imagination, so I left it.
You left there.
Then I went to XYZ, and also as someone healing some food to go up there. Why are we building a nation where there is too much divisiveness? Like there is a straight line, nobody goes here, nobody comes here. So I said, I know it's a porous station, it's a straight NDC station. Yeah. But if in Penny for wait to meet your contract more or top of what, then nothing should stop me from going there. Yeah. So I went to XYZ for 1 year and some months, almost 2 years. But I came to realize that in the course of me wanting to change the narrative, it came as though I was campaigning for a certain political party, that is NDC. Yeah. That wasn't my motive. Yeah. Because when I sat with my former boss Julius, I made my intentions very clear that it is about me coming to work, me speaking against the ills of the government. Yes. If in the course of doing that it favors your Mohammed's cause or your party, I don't really care. And that has always been me. Even on Angel FM, 1 month to election, I was still doing same, talking about Galamsey, doing left, right, center. But like I said, people began to watch it through the lens of Oya campaign because of the platform. Absolutely. And certain other, background informations that I wouldn't like to share. I decided that let me quit, because it's not even worth it. Because if the people believe that, oh, he's gone for some money, he's gone for this, that's why he's campaigning for Jomama, and yet the reality is different from it, then why am I still there? So I just left XYZ. Then I came to Angel FM. Yes. Angel FM, I was there for the same almost 2 years into, and one thing led to another. I decided that our interest at this point, because in the run-up to the election, I was very vocal about who I belong, where I belong, who I think must be voted for. And I believe that the company also had their own vision, have their own interest, where our interest does not align. I don't believe that I still must be there, so I left. Okay. I'm currently doing For the Records. For the Records. It's called Central Web Benign. Yeah, we'll get to For the Records very soon. However, we have seen a lot of this, these changes in your life, one station to another, and that has been attributed to your very vocal nature and also your decision to stay with one political party. And I was speaking to someone earlier before we got here, and the person said, "Oh, do you know that he actually campaigned for the NPP?" I'm like, this gentleman has been. I've been campaigning for NPP for talking about being with the NPP right from the word go. So right you being at XYZ was actually a surprise to a lot of people. However, your communications on the platform did give people the idea that you left the NPP, and your decision to hit the back of the political party also made them a little unpopular at the time. Would you agree to that? And some of it, I would say, that might have contributed to the loss. Hallelujah. What do you mean by that? If what I said contributed to the loss, it wasn't as though I was lying about anything. But
that's a political party you belong to.
I don't care. When we seek the people's power, what we are saying is that we want to make their lives better. And so some of my party members will say, "Oh, you painted the party black." I said, "But why did you give me the paint? I'm having a brush, you gave me the paint, and I painted you black." So here is it. Any day, anytime when we seek for the power of the people, we are supposed to make their lives better. Okay. If you don't use it to better the lives of the people, but you use it at the detriment of the people, I will speak against it. It doesn't matter which political party, even if it's my politician, so what? I believe that political parties should not be a vehicle, a conduit for other people to enter into where they use it for the wrong things. So if we genuinely believe that it is for the greater good of the people that we've come, and somebody is stealing the money of the people, somebody is being corrupt, siphoning the resources of the people for his personal gains, why can't we all speak against it, that we don't stand for this? So for me, I was speaking my truth. Even the cause of speaking my truth, it made my party unpopular. Why were they? So the problem, and sometimes I don't even see the logic. The problem is not the people who were causing the issue, but the problem is me who were. And in any case, why are we all zombies? That when we're in a political party, all of us must be whipped in line, we must be praise singing. I don't believe in that. Okay. I believe that the only way, and it's very clear for you to see, if they had listened to me, maybe we wouldn't have gone into an election and suffered the kind of humiliating defeat that we suffered. Almost everyone, and then we became a bootlicker, bootlicking the president, praising the president, even when the president is doing something wrong. I have never believed in that. So the people around me, I keep telling them that me bomb a red empire, that I don't wake up to a day where people around me will not tell me, will not be able to tell me the truth. Even the downers of person around me, I keep telling them, be my friend. When you think I have something wrong I'm doing, speak to me. Then I will add that, not that I will take it, but you speak to me.
Just tell me.
You just tell me.
I might
take it when I. So I believe that every leader needs a person like me who will speak freely to your face without having to. But I realized my party leadership at that time were sitting on some tall white horses who wanted their egos to be fed. So whatever you say, they won't listen.
Do we have a you in the NDC?
I don't know, and I don't care.
You haven't identified anyone like that would whip this government into line if they're going out of place. Since you,
I believe my senior brother Bubi Ansa is trying to do same, and he's been honest. I mean, he is my senior. He is one of the reasons I got on radio. Whenever I listened to him, there was something that got awakened in me. People were listening to him the days of Asempa in the afternoon, and probably they were enjoying it. But whilst I listened to him on Asempa FM, I got something awakening in me that I think I can do better. And I came in and I'm doing it.
You're doing your thing. So let's go back into this conversation again, still in politics. As far back as 2022, I believe, is when this conversation of Galamsey started. From where I remember it started all the way to 2023, then 2024, it became big because it was an election year.
And people were capitalizing.
Absolutely. You had, staged, conversations to get people to understand what was going on with Galamsey. You have also been on the ground. We've seen videos of you in the forest, dealing with some people on the ground, and they're like, listen, at the time, people were talking about the chiefs being involved in this Galamsey conversation. Why were you so passionate? Again, you're Ghanaian, so it's right for you to want to fight for some, but there's been a very long conversation from years back that people didn't think that, we're achieving anything with this talk. Why were you so passionate about going on the ground and putting your life on the line? Because we saw where you were at, and I was like, it's way to be people with this
well, Mimi, something surely must kill a human being. Somebody will be having a bedtime stuff, and they die. People get accident and they die. So if I am fighting for a cause, and in the course of doing that I die, what is so special about it? Kwame Nkrumah is gone, Mandela is gone, important human beings are gone, Okatakyie goes tomorrow, and so what. I think sometimes we become so self-centered, selfish, that we think we are so important that we must preserve ourselves for the... No, I don't believe in that. I believe I am an atom in the whole equation of the world, for which reason whatever I believe I must do to contribute my quota to the development of the people, I will do it, regardless of the fears that comes with it, regardless of the dangers that comes with it. Now, me putting my life on the line and going to Galamsey side, unveiling, if you ask me why I did it, I don't know. I think about when I set my mind that I want to do something, I do it without considering the repercussions of it. I don't really consider.
Tell me what happened that day. Maybe we'll figure it out together.
The cry was so loud. Every time I listen to the people, when the call for something is so loud, the cry about Galamsey was so loud, the people were crying, the leadership was not listening. I felt, okay, I have a platform. If I should join the people who are crying. Of course, it's not as though I live in these Galamsey areas for which I am directly affected. But just like Martin Numuela once said, when they come for the Jews and you say you are not Jew, you won't speak. When they come for trade unionists, you say you won't speak. And they will come for you. And the problem happening is not far from us. We will all get affected by virtue of relations with people or by indirect contact with people. So I said, you know what, let me join it. Let's raise awareness. Let's see if my government will do something about it. Unfortunately, it looks as though because the problem has compounded, it has been there for years, from the 70s. We've become a nation with no direction. We keep going round in circles, and for that matter, when even something starts, we are not able to nip the thing in the bud, and it becomes an economical issue. And now the Galamsey thing, it's become two states, a security issue and economical issue. How do you address it? Are you sucking the people to go and do what? Because now that has become their livelihood. How do you create alternative livelihood, source of livelihood for them? And our people don't have any clue, they don't have an idea. There's something called Dutch disease. That is where we are gradually getting to, okay? Where it looks like the low-hanging fruit, one natural resource that we have is all we are putting our energy on, and we survive today. We are happy the city is appreciating and everybody is clapping without asking the relevant questions that how can magically city appreciate in the course of 3 months. It's unrealistic. It is because we've put our energy all behind one natural resource, and what it's doing is that it is taking our minds off the other parts of our natural resources we could have built. And a time will come, our trade will suffer. A time will come, other parts of the economy, cocoa, nobody cares about cocoa again today, because we are enjoying from the proceeds of gold through illegal mining activities. There is doom ahead. There is some big doom ahead for this nation.
So for you, this big conversation about the city appreciating is... It
doesn't excite me because I understand what it takes. I understand how the world works. I'm not the usual guy that probably... And I'm saying that if city is appreciating, it should be realistic. I'm not an economist. But if you say within 5 months, a city that was fighting to dollar around 15 point something, all of a sudden it's at 9 and we are all clapping. The government should come and tell us, what measures have they put in place to be able to see the city rapidly appreciate in that? It doesn't make sense. Economically, it doesn't make sense. It is because they are burning the gold reserves there, vis-a-vis that of the trade war going on between America and China and all that. But people don't have an idea what it means, the international geopolitics, the trade war going on, the kind of effects it has on our country. They don't have an idea. So for political slogans and all that, we are taking credit. You are burning your reserves just to back the city and come and have slogans to go and tell the people. The doomsday is ahead. I'm not a prophet of doom, but cut it and put it somewhere. The doomsday is ahead.
You've staged demonstrations that you personally haven't been a part of physically.
Right.
You want to name some of them? I probably have an idea, and I'm
almost every demonstration that has gone on in this country that I believed in, I joined. I'm not a person that sits on radio and make noise and sit on TV. I'm a grounds person as well. That is how come we say that some crybabies sit in exile and they begin to make noise even when you call them that they should be on the ground, fight with the people. They don't have what it takes. They don't have the temerity. They don't have the courage to be able to do it. So Fix the Country demonstration 1 and 2, I was with them. The one that happened in Accra, the one that happened in Takoradi. I was there, present. I was integral. It wasn't even as though I was with them. I was integral part of the people that organized it. That is what people lose sight of.
Yes.
That before Oliver Baka became the face of Fix the Country demonstration, pretty much who knew Oliver Baka in Ghana? Nobody knew Oliver. It was after Fix the Country demonstration that probably he wrote a few other things on social media. And my government being so loose, they went after him for necessary things. They used state power to go after Oliver. Then Oliver became popular at some point. I left the Fix the Country thing because it was losing its focus and what the purpose for which we formed it. Then I left and I proceeded. Aside Fix the Country, I mean, e-levy, when we have to go to Parliament and all, I was at the forefront of it. I fought against it. I didn't believe in that nonsense.
In the e-levy?
The e-levy demonstration that we went to Parliament, I was at the forefront. It wasn't somebody lead. I was at the forefront. But Ghanaians, short memory, like our president said, we don't remember most of the things I've done. And I don't blame them. With time, truth, all these things going around, your friend Imoti Amframa. You see that from it comes the whirlwind that comes very. It would suddenly come pick all the polythene bags and leave the polythene bags in the air and it settles. Okay, so me, I'm like the polythene bags. The whirlwind is picking. They will make all the noise. Kateche, wanye, kateche, but it will leave me in the air. You will leave me in the minds of the people. One day the people will remember me for the great things that I did. They're not the bad things you are saying I did. So I understand all of that. Beyond that, just recently, when even I have a problem. You know, I problem on my spine. I sometimes don't even care about all these health implications of me walking long to make a statement, and I still go ahead and do it. 2020, at some point when we're doing Fix the Country, what most people don't know, I was going through one of the hardest phases of my personal life with my family. That anybody who goes through that phase probably cannot survive it. And yet I was at the forefront fighting for the people. By the tweak of it, the people will come after you, and I mean, being human, you lose it, you go like, but it is human nature, all throughout human nature. I give you an example. In 1939, Winston Churchill of England, okay, was Adolf Hitler was going to wipe the whole of British Empire away. And Winston Churchill stood up and said, I think I can face Adolf Hitler. He came in, he gave it to Adolf Hitler by inviting the Americans and the Russians in, using strategy to beat Adolf Hitler, conquer Germany. And guess what? When the war ended in 45, by 46, everybody would have thought that somebody who has done such a great thing for you people, you will do what? You put him back in, but they voted against him. It took 6 years, 1952, for the people to say, Winston, we want you, Churchill, we want you back, and they brought you back as a prime minister. So I believe that at some point the people are just what they are, human beings. They naturally get tired of, and they change. I understand the psychology of human beings. I understand it. That is how come President Mahama, all of a sudden, the people say, oh, come back, as though he's some angel we've never seen. You get the point? It is the human psyche. That is how it operates. It gets tired of things quite easily. And with time, it begins to switch towards. So I've done a lot for this country. I've devoted my time to fight for the people. In any case, they keep insulting me that, oh, Okatakyie Afrifa MPP. If I'm not patriotic, how then do you have my voice that is speaking against my own party?
Political party,
And that is not going to stop me. If my party does anything untoward, I'll probably speak against. I'll tell them my peace of mind.
But we've seen a lot of things they're doing lately, so we're going to be asking you about that.
Right.
But about the demonstration, finally, you recently had one, and you are constantly on social media. You saw what they said about your demonstration.
That one.
That it was not successful. People didn't show up. Why do you think that was? If that's what the case?
What is the whole idea of demonstration?
To send a message across. You were talking about Galamsey.
But we have had demonstrations that one people go on one-man demonstrations. So what is this? It's all to create awareness. A demonstration that I went and the whole country talked about it. A demonstration that the president had to respond to it. TUC had to speak about it. And you say it wasn't successful. Well, I don't know why we've become so fixated with the idea of bashing people. And you and I know, these two political parties, but for bashing people to demonstrations. Mimi, but for bashing people to demonstrations, they will not even have the kind of numbers I had. And we've become a nation where we've gone engulfed in. If you are going on demonstration for it to be successful, we are mad. Meanwhile, that demonstration, all the media houses were there. Several millions of people were watching it at home. All of them. What we wanted to do was to create awareness about something that is. Even if nobody came and I was the only one that went for the demonstration, so what? I believe in the cause and I'm fighting for the cause. And you see millions of people did not come, so it was not successful. You must have some wool in your head somewhere, cotton wool in your head somewhere to begin to have these conversations. And it's a propaganda tool. So the political class begin to shift away from the core matter and begin to touch on the periphery and say that, oh, numbers. But okay, so F the numbers, okay? Let's talk about what is the guy saying. Is it true that people are in our forest destroying it? Is it true that our water bodies are being destroyed? That is the core matter. Let's discuss it. If you have solutions to them, then you present them. Why have we left that one, put it aside, and now we are focusing on whether demonstration, I don't get perturbed by these kind of conversations. I don't. I'm so, you see, you know me. You've been my friend for a while. The kind of brain I have in my head, if the people knew, I don't get moved by these comments. When I am certain in my mind, and almost everybody is going this way, left with me alone. When I'm certain in my mind I have to go left, nothing will change it. I'll go left.
You go left.
No, I'm not just a social being who wants to belong.
Interesting. Now, the position of the minority in Parliament has made people start talking about the MPP.
Right.
Because back in the day, I remember very well when I wanted to get into politics, someone told me, oh, MPP na, MPP. That's where they empower people to go to school, to study, to become, important people, not just, playing politics just for the namesake, but they understand politics, they live politics, they are diplomats. But very recently, I mean a couple of days ago, we saw a minority in parliament, boycott parliament to go and support your Ashanti. Wontumi. And they were on the floor. People were talking about how the minority has positioned themselves as a people. Do you have any other reservations about what the political party NPP is looking like right now? You started your thank you tour. That also didn't go as far as we thought a major political party like the NPP would have gone. We saw the division in people wanting to leave the thank you tour, and at some point it just didn't happen again. What is your state of mind about the NPP right now?
I think MPP, just like almost every social organization, has its own ups and it has its own downs. Every social organization in the world has a point where they will peak, okay? And it has a point where there is the law of diminishing marginal returns. You suddenly will come down, really, I mean. What we are facing right now is usual. It's not an usual thing. Every political party all over the world, when you go to Britain,